guys, what is up? Mr. Darksped here, coming to you with a video series, episode 1. I like to call this budget decks for, any player. Basically competitive, new, old, veterans, all that. Anyone can use this deck. It's pretty cheap. I call it budget decks because for a reason. I do not ever go above the $100 mark on any decks that I'll put up here. This one in specific runs for about $65. So then you can make this for very cheap, so let's just get started. Triple Unifrog hits directly. If you control another frog besides Unifrog, you can pop one of your opponent's spells, traps, anything they have, and each one can do it once, so you can get 3 max. Triple Dupe Frog, 2000 defense. He has the ability when he's destroyed, you can add a frog besides Dupe Frog to your hand, and if you control 2 Dupe Frogs face up, your opponent cannot attack, because Dupe Frog is the only monster at 1 face up that your opponent can attack at that time. Triple Submarine Frog, he's a 1200 beater, you'll understand why later. He pierces, so if any monster in defense mode gets hit, still your opponent takes damage for. Swap Frog, 1000 attack. Obviously, he sends combos. You can special them by discarding 1 water. You can send 1 card to the graveyard from your deck, 1 monster, and then you can also bounce him back to your hand so you can use his effect later. Double Dudark, 1200, his effect is when you control only level 2 or lower aqua types. You can attack directly. He's a level 2 tuner, and every monster in this deck is level 2 or lower. Cryomancer of the Ice Barrier, level 2 tuner as well, 1300 beat stick. When you control another Ice Barrier, level 4s or higher cannot attack, so he's also a good lockdown. Double Ronin Toad, combine him with Swap Frog's effect, and this card just keeps coming back and back, and if you run a Gachi, he will basically, this is like your best bet, especially when it comes to Exceed summoning. So we'll set this aside. 1 Trade Toad, he is the MVP of this deck. After all, he can treat himself or another aqua type to get a frog from your graveyard. So, very good card. Flip Flop Frog, when he's face down, for every frog monster you control, you bounce 1 card your opponent controls, and during your main phase 2 or your end phase, I believe, I think it's your main phase 2, you can flip him back face down, so it just reuses effect multiple times. Penguin Soldier, everyone knows him. Bounce 2 of your opponent's monsters, so if they sink like a Trish or just some big ass beat stick you can't get past, Penguin Soldier. That would be 20 monsters total. We use 3 lands. This is what turns cards into beat sticks. It raises all level 2 or lower aqua type monsters 1200 points, and so your opponent can't do much when you have a 2500 attack 2-star monster on the field. And when you add this to Dudark, he hits 2400 for each hit, and Unifrog hits 1600. Enemy controller, obviously tribute 1 card to control your opponent, or change one of your opponent's attack position monsters and make him go into defense so he can live another turn. Double Solidarity. All monsters in this deck are aqua types, so you basically, all your aqua types gain 800 attack. Hopefully anything is not in your deck that you would like Exceed summon or anything like that. And so, yeah, you can run this. It will give them plus 1600 because Solidarity does stack. Moray of Greed, return 2 water type monsters to your deck, draw 3. It's not a plus or a minus, it's basically equal. So it's a very good card if you don't draw what you need at the time or you don't have the right monsters. Fishing Kicks, banish when you have 3 or more banished aqua type monsters. Basically, banish one of your opponent's monsters just by activating this. It gets rid of beat sticks, BLS, all that stuff. Level Limit Area B. When you activate this, your opponent's level 4 or higher monsters are instantly turned into defense mode. So it's a very good way to stall, just in case you can't hit them, and it allows you to get your Dudark in to hit as much as possible. Pot of Avarice, self-explanatory. 1 MST, because you run the field, so you really don't want to run Heavy Storm too much. You can run another if you would like. Monster Reborn, staple. Salvage, return 2 water monsters to your hand. Staple. Gravity Bind, all level 4 or higher monsters cannot attack or cannot declare an attack, so staple for this deck. Keeps your monsters alive and whatnot. Aegis of the Ocean Dragon Lord makes, level 2, level 3 or lower water types unable to be destroyed by battle or card effect, so keeps them alive for another turn if you want to keep your Dupe Frog or anything, your Unifrog for another turn, so you can, OTK, FTK, whatever you want to do. Well, you can't really FTK, so just OTK. Mirror Force is a staple, Torrential staple, Solemn Judgment staple, and this is a card that a lot of people are iffy on, but I personally run it because I don't like to pay anything, but I don't mind if my parent or your opponent does something, because Dark Bribe, opponent draws 1 card, but then you don't have to pay anything, and most of the time your opponent will not draw anything really well, and so this card's fine with me. You don't have to run it. You can run a Solemn Warning if you want, but this is my preference. As for your extra deck, really all you need is Gachi Gachi, but if you want to run more, since you don't run anything above level 2, you really just need to possibly get a Stardust, and Enemy Controller will help you do that since you have 4 level 2 tuners in here. So Stardust is fine. If you run into an opponent with like a 5-star monster, Frognarks, whatever, you could probably run a Black Rose too, since these are staples, but you really don't need that much since most of the beatdown and damage is done through your deck and not your extra deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, favorite, all that good stuff, and see you guys next time, and keep dueling.